sometimes we feel more at peace and connected to our true self, authentic, and kind of glowing in that authenticity. And sometimes it's just, that is connection. And our life is keeping balance between those, really. Oh, and I wish it was easy to just keep the perfect balanced state all the time. But that's also the beauty of our human experience, to be experiencing this ups and downs, this life, this stuff. And it's not necessarily bad. It's just all about knowing when to stop ourselves and get grounded, and how to bring ourselves back to the state of bliss again. If you've never been there before, or maybe not to the extent you wish to be, well, then this video can also be helpful for you. If you've been there and occasionally fall out of it and then get back, that's where I'm at. So yeah, this video is also for you. I feel like it's definitely the part of our process. It definitely is easier to go and become a monk, yeah, or just completely dedicate your life, I don't know, living in a cave or something, to the centeredness. However, life offers experience, a life experience, and it's nice to get reconciled with the fact that you might fall out of the state of bliss, and keeping in mind all the time, whenever it happens, or even before it happens, that you're always able to get back. And so to do that, you don't actually need to do anything. Definitely for me, the most helpful thing has always been to start listening to silence, to start noticing silence and just slowing down. It's the moment when you get a feeling that time slows down, when you really pay attention to it. And also another interesting life hack, if you want to slow down the time, is to do yoga. And it's basically very similar thing, because that's how you get present. And from that point of just getting present, that's when you automatically connect to your true essence, your authenticity, which is being one with the source and just the state of being. And the state of being is where all the wisdom is. So, well, frankly, it's always been within you. It's not about your age or, I don't know, the gurus you've listened to. And of course, it also helps, but really sometimes the most important is just to sit with yourself and listen to silence, because when you start detoxing your system from all the dopamine overload, which we've been programmed to get used to, the society is just crazy, or we fully rely on dopamine, and sick. It's sick for it everywhere. So if we a little bit get aside from that, we might find ourselves, the moment, and well, it's actually really nice to just be there. And yeah, emotions can go up. It's very often happening because we really were just distracting ourselves all the time, running around and trying to do something, just not to stay with ourselves long enough to actually feel everything what's inside and actually digest what's been happening there and actually hear our thoughts even. And I'm not talking about that 20 minutes before going to sleep when you're already in bed trying to fall asleep, but you cannot because all those thoughts are starting to, well, try to get digested. No, I'm talking about the intentional time which you, yeah, but just try to like sit, okay, and become sort of a part of existence. And as I said earlier, you automatically become the part of God because that's what you are. The God, the source, the, I don't know, call it whatever you want, like the universe. Because you attune to it. You are so able to connect with it in any moment. And it doesn't matter what your past is like or which stage of life you're currently on or what's your relationship with God was lately or if you ever prayed before or not. It's just about you surrendering and listening. And there you can, yeah, you can work on your emotions. You definitely can. You can breathe into it. You can let everything go up. Or you can just not try to do it intentionally because just by staying there and normally breathing and normally being, not even distracting yourself immediately with all the stuff you can distract yourself with, which you usually do probably. Well, I know I do. A lot can be healed by itself. A lot of emotions can get worked on by themselves, and you just need to be there and witness it, not necessarily engage. Because the less you engage, honestly, at some point, especially if you've been overloaded with the whole, I don't know, range of thoughts and maybe events, the better it is to just, yeah, stay silent and not to engage as much as possible. And then you can make a little habit out of it. I don't know, the moment you're commuting somewhere, let's say in the bus or in the car or walking down the street or the moment you're reading a book and then suddenly maybe you just choose to close it and to listen to silence for a moment or go sit on your yoga mat for 2 minutes. It won't make you struggle so much as you think it will. It's not necessarily right away about meditating, but it is a form of meditation where it's just it's just easier, but also so natural. It's the being meditation sort of thing where you just being one with whatever there is, and the more you do that, the more your mind. I'm sorry for this, but shut it up, really, and that's what it needs to do from time to time because it's constantly working and it's good that it can work, but it's also good for it to really stop sometimes. And while listening to silence, you don't necessarily need to shut it down intentionally that much, but just try not to do anything. And if thoughts are running around, let them. But the moment you notice it, just come back to listening to the silence. And I promise you from that point, a lot of things will clear up, and that's it really. Over time, it becomes more and more, it becomes better and better, and the more time you spend with yourself this way, the more complete you feel. The more you get to know yourself. Because you are the frequency. This is another thing. What you are is a frequency, a presence, and you cannot be feeling good in any other frequency apart from your own and most authentic one. And you cannot connect to it when you're constantly being under the influence of other auras or energies or frequencies. And the only way to be truly in yours is those moments of silence where you start to finally feel more like yourself. That's where self-love comes from, but also self-understanding. Well, that was just a small recommendation. Maybe start from that and see how things will unfold. Maybe a small remark for me personally, uninstalling social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok really helped long time ago, I'd say. But it's optional and it's not so necessary because just starting to spend a few moments with yourself a day and then as much as possible really is already a huge step and makes a huge difference. All right, that's it. So if it helped you, please let me know down in the comments and let me know about your experience with that. See you.